So, there's been the Zionists and the AIPAC and the Israeli First People have been attacking Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and trying to get Megyn Kelly canceled because she won't attack Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens. So good on Megyn Kelly. But here is just a quick little takedown that Tucker Carlson does. He kind of exposes Ben Shapiro's grift, because it is a grift. And let's watch him. Let's watch. He does it way better than I can. Let's watch. Oh, hold on. Oh, by the way, okay, here we go. Check this out.
And it's interesting because people like Levin and Ben Shapiro, who at one point had this like media empire propped up by Facebook, the Daily Wire, with some good people on it. It's fine. It's fine. But Ben Shapiro spent, I don't know, a decade posing as someone who actually cared about your concerns as an American. He did it imperfectly. There were flashes that he didn't really care. And he's like, no, I'm a conservative. I'm not just interested in the fortunes of one tiny country in the Middle East with a population of 9 million. No, I have a lot of interests. I really care about this country, and I'm against the trans movement or whatever. But increasingly, as everyone's gotten more hysterical and prone to sort of blurting out the truth, that veil has dropped, and you can see what Ben Shapiro really, really cares about. So this is a very revealing exchange that took place 6 days ago, last Thursday, on stage with Megyn Kelly. Ben Shapiro was just sitting there being interviewed by Megyn Kelly and said something like, well, Tucker Carlson's, for Maduro, the communist leader of Venezuela, who I guess were on the way to killing or something, forcing out, regime changing him. And he defended Maduro. Didn't, actually. And Megyn Kelly says, well, Tucker said in his show that Maduro, most people didn't know this, whatever his many faults, I wouldn't hire him as an economist, okay? But whatever his many faults, has the most socially conservative country probably in the hemisphere. So Venezuela is just a fact. I mean, I didn't make this up. I'm not in charge of Venezuela. Just noticing that Venezuela has banned pornography, banned abortion, banned gay marriage, banned sex changes, and banned usury. You don't have credit cards with 40% interest in Venezuela. Okay. Ben Shapiro responded this way.
Tucker's made the point, I'm not going to here to be Tucker's defender, but he's made the point that Maduro is culturally conservative.
Who gives a shit? The guy's a communist dictator. Everyone in his country is eating dog. He's shipping fentanyl to the United States to kill Americans. Why do I give a shit whether he's...
First of all, if you think any of that was true, don't you think people would overthrow him? Don't you think they would get together to try to overthrow him? If everybody in the country is eating dog and he's a dictator, which he's not, don't you think that? So why has the United States been trying to overthrow him for 30 years? Why has the United States been trying to overthrow the Venezuelan government? It's because Because their own people don't like him? Well, that's their problem. But anyway, that's not the point of this. Let's watch.
Whether he's anti-LGBTQ rights.
Who gives a shit? I do. I'm not moving to Venezuela. I'm not pro-Maduro. But I care about that. Why wouldn't I care about that? I've got kids. First of all, I'm against abortion. Sorry, unpopular. I feel that way. I think it's really sad. I would personally become poorer to end abortion, voluntarily become poorer to end abortion in the United States. That's not a choice. Don't want to become poor, but I would because I care about it. Maybe you don't. Maybe you're offended that I do, but I care about it. Lots of people care about it. I don't think pornography is good. That really hurts people. I don't think pretending that the sexes are the same is good. And you claimed that you didn't think it was good, but it turns out, quote, I don't give a shit. Maduro's against Israel. Oh, okay. I don't give a shit. Well, you spent like a decade pretending you did give a shit, that you were on the side of like normal Americans who have a mix of concerns. They definitely care about economics and they care about social issues too because they have children and they see where this is going. It's not good. That your economic condition is not the only measure of health. Your spiritual condition matters too. It's just a fact. It does. If you're totally degraded, it doesn't matter how much money you have. It's not worth it. It's not worth getting the whole world and losing your soul. Sorry. And most people feel the way, but not Ben Shapiro. He doesn't give a shit. So why the hostility? Well, maybe because if you keep talking.
So there you go. He kind of just blew up his whole grift in just a couple of minutes. Because for your whole life, you pretended you cared about that stuff. And it turns out you don't. You're just Israel first. That's the whole thing. Ben Shapiro's just Israel first. And then he calls everybody a Nazi. And I guess he's for overthrowing other countries. I guess Donald Trump, when he got elected, it was because he was going to stop doing the regime change wars of the deep state, which the deep state doesn't work for the president. The deep state works for the economic hitmen, the billionaires in the United States. That's who the CIA, the FBI, and the Pentagon work for. So, I mean, on paper in the Constitution, it's supposed to be the president of the United States, but Chuck Schumer revealed that they don't work for the president of the United States when he told Rachel Maddow that Donald Trump's dumb to criticize the intelligence community because they've got 6 ways a Sunday to get back at you. So that the president of the United States is not allowed to criticize the people who are supposed to be working for him. So that means they don't work for him. And who do they work for? They work for the economic hitmen, the billionaire class that runs the whole Western society. And they want to overthrow Venezuela, since it wasn't just Maduro. It was, now I'm blanking on the guy's name. Who was the president of Venezuela before Maduro? They've been trying to overthrow Venezuela for 30 years. Why? Because it's got more oil than Saudi Arabia. Plus, it has a lot of rare earth minerals that we need to make batteries and stuff like that. So, did you find out who it was?
Hugo Chavez?
Yeah, Hugo Chavez. So if it's Maduro is the bad guy, why did they overthrow Hugo Chavez? They did, and then it was an unsuccessful coup. They couped him for like a day or two. Anyway, so that's what I love about that, is that blows Ben Shapiro's grip. I don't give a shit about someone. I thought you did. I thought you cared about being conservative and conservative values.
Did you see?
And part of the conservative values was that we don't get entangled in foreign regime change wars for economics, which is what the Venezuela is. And Donald Trump got elected on doing the exact opposite of being a non-interventionist. And immediately he bombs Iran, bombs Yemen, continues funding Ukraine, continues funding the genocide in Gaza, and now he's bombing Venezuela, threatening to bomb Nigeria and Colombia. So the exact opposite of what people thought they were voting for, and Ben Shapiro doesn't give a shit. Doesn't give a shit. Because that guy's a communist. What is it? What do you even mean by a communist? They'll tell you anybody who's for Social Security is a communist. They'll tell you anybody who's for Medicare is a communist. Anybody who likes public schools is a communist. They'll tell you that. Anybody who likes subsidies to buy health care, they're communists. Anybody who's for unions, they're communists. So they don't even know what communist means. And they call people in Denmark, in Sweden, in Norway, they're communists because they have a strong social safety net, and that nobody falls through that safety net. They don't have homeless people. They have highly educated people. In fact, they have the happiest people in the world. Live under it's called socialism. It's social democracy. It's not socialism. It's not a planned economy. They have capitalism. They just have a strong safety net, and they call that communist. And they call it socialist and communist, and then they conflate those two things together, and they say, see, if you're for Social Security or health care, or for not having homeless people, you're a communist, which means you're like Hitler, I guess. So they just throw that term around. And if they deem you a communist, like you give your people health care, you give your people housing, you make sure your people have education, you're a communist, and then we can come in and overthrow you and steal your natural resources. It's that farthest thing from conservatism that there is. And so he easily calls it out. Easily calls it out. I think that's a great. I watched half of that show. Put it that way. This one, Tucker. He's doing great work as usual, Anything else you want to add to that, Chris?
Oh, later in this show, he brings up like some ridiculous things that Shapiro has said recently. Like he said, if you're a young person who can't afford to live here, then maybe you shouldn't live here. You just shouldn't live here if you can't afford it.
That sounds like an enemy of the United States. That's not a concerned leader. A concerned leader would be like, why can't people afford to live where they grew up?
Right.
And what's wrong with that system? I always talk about the United States. What do you call an economic system that takes the richest country in the world and renders half of its population unable to afford a $500 emergency? What do you call a system that renders 70 to 80% of the people in that system in the richest country in the world working paycheck to paycheck? You call that a failed system. That's all that is. What do you call a system where people with jobs and healthcare and health insurance get sick and go bankrupt? You call that a failed system. What do you call a system where people working full-time can't afford a house after they graduate college until they're 40? You call that a failed? I call that a failed system. Ben Shapiro say, "Fuck that, stupid communists. Communists want you to have houses. Communists want you to have health care and not go bankrupt when you get sick. Communists want you to be able to afford a house in your own neighborhood where you grew up. What are you, a communist? I don't give a shit." It's the weirdest. Again, it's a losing argument, and people like Tucker Carlson are revealing the frauds like the Ben Shapiros and those people to be. They're all frauds. This hating people who can't afford a house in their neighborhood they grew up in. Why would you have disdain for those people? Because you're a mental case and you're Israel first. Ben Shapiro, by the way, is the guy who wants you to not be able to retire. He wants you to work until you're dead. No kidding. You shouldn't. He said retirement is insane. It's insane. That's why he referred to it as insane. That you get to work for 40 years and then not work for 20 years and die. That's insane, he said.
I totally want the elderly running the fire department.
Oh, I like it when an 80-year-old guy shows up to carry me down 3 flights of stairs. I want a 70-year-old bricklayer. I want a 75-year-old fireman. I want an
80-year-old waitress.
Me too. Anyway, so that's Tucker Carlson completely wrecks and outs Ben Shapiro's grift that he's running because he doesn't believe in any of those things that he said.
Who's voting for this kind of stuff, though? If you can't afford it, you shouldn't live here.
That's what I'm saying. It's a losing message.
Regime change wars.
That is not the message that Donald Trump ran on, Chris. Yeah. Donald Trump ran on the opposite message. Donald Trump ran on the message of I'm going to help the workers. I'm going to bring people back. We're going to lift workers up. We're going to stop suppressing your wages by closing the border. We're going to bring manufacturing back, and so you could have good middle-class jobs, and you can afford to have a vacation and a summer house. You can go on vacation, and your kids can go to college, and nobody has to go bankrupt. Everybody could live well. That's what he ran on, and non-interventionism, and free speech, non-censorship. All those things, he's broken the promise of. And
remember when he said he was going to cut the military budget in half?
Remember? Yeah, he said, I was thinking about let's cut it in half. And then, in fact, I'm sorry, he inflated it to $1 trillion. And the Doge was all a joke. It was all a ruse. The Doge, that was all a joke. And I fell for it. I thought Elon Musk and Trump were going to cut those USAID money. They didn't. They actually doubled that money and gave it to the Pentagon. They just moved it. Anyway, and there you go. There's Tucker Carlson on the right side of history. Very easily exposes Ben Shapiro's grift. And he does it over Venezuela, which was, I did not see that coming, but he did it well. Okay, come see me tell jokes in Australia. We're going to be in Burbank, California the day after Thanksgiving. It's November 28th. It's a Friday. A lot of people are off. I'm not. December 6th, we'll be in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. And January 11th, we're going to be in Waikiki. Have you ever been to Waikiki? Go on vacation. It's a great place. And we're going to be at the Blue Note Theater there. It's beautiful. Go to jimmydore.com for link for tickets. Over to Steph.
All right, Jimmy, we're going to go to a quick card and we'll be right back with Chris Keene. I have a friend who blocked my phone number and won't come fishing anymore because I kept calling out how dumb the COVID lockdowns were and how the government lied. This is not the 21st century. And I wonder when that person is going to notice that the government lied. Or are they going to just stick to, what they believed happened years ago? It's terrible. It's terrible. I still have friends that family gatherings, they'll wear masks. I got to keep everyone on their toes, Steph. You know how it is. Vientikis. Brian S. Ferenc is the forensic auditor from the suggested video on the channel DG Got a Podcast. Well worth a watch. Thank you, Brew. When Jimmy's phone, hold on. When Jimmy's phone flew out of his pocket on that plane, did it fly because it had Pegasus? Hold funny. Bam, Vientikis. In Canada, the new American Eagle ad had pictures of models with different races and read, "We all have great genes. Give it up already, people." Funny. I think it's amazing that in the course of 20 years, Stewart and Carlson switched places with regards to their relationship to the mainstream, but not in their political stances. Roger, it's question the government only when my party doesn't control the government. Are you this way? I wonder what you're saying here. This is why we need to abolish all political parties and have direct democracy at all three levels of government, local, state, and country. And that was from Roger. Sound Chaser, Venezuela has the largest oil reserves in the world. Can't imagine why we would want to overthrow their government. We're just intervening. We're spreading democracy, Sound Chaser. You know that. You're a great voice for the people, Jimmy. So are many others. You provide a network to see. I appreciate you. D. Wiggs. Nice. You all set?
Yes.
AJM, social democracy is venom to greedy corporations. Social democracy is the fucking answer, and people are brainwashed to fear it. And now, back to Mr. Keene.